Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Tea Talk Thursday. Welcome to 2020. Hard to believe that it is a new year already. I don't know about you guys, but I really was not ready. But whether you're ready or not, it is happening. It is here. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to come on in, grab your cup of tea, of course, because we know the importance of tea. And let's get ready to chat. It is a beautiful Thursday here in Philadelphia. It was a little chilly yesterday, but today it is, I can't complain about it. Hope you guys had an amazing holiday celebration. You did something fun with your family and you created some special memories. But today we are going to talk about glamorizing obesity. I received so many comments when I put the information out that this is what I was going to talk about. I was completely surprised. No, let me not say I was completely surprised. I was surprised and a little sad that so many people felt like they could not speak out on this and share what their thoughts were and what they thought about it for fear of being backlashed. So what I'm going to ask that we all do in this discussion is that we are respectful. You don't have to agree with me. Totally fine. But I do ask that you be respectful in your comments, and I will read and let you all know what other people are commenting. So please be respectful of that as well, too. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tamika Talks. I am the mouth of IG at Tamika Talks, and I'm the thought leader at Life and Pumps, where basically my goal is to bring you eco wellness lifestyle things for busy families. So let's get started. I don't even want you all to wait any longer. So I see we have some people joining. Hello, Happy New Year. Thanks for taking the time to spend this, couple minutes with me, I guess I'll say. So let's get started. Obesity. We do know that it is a problem. And I think that to say that it's not would be doing ourselves a disservice, a complete disservice. So what I want to talk about first is, I looked up some facts just behind obesity in America. And it is saying that the prevalence of obesity has affected over 93.3 million U.S. adults. And these numbers are from 2015 to 2016. They have not necessarily updated it for this particular quarter. And I'm getting most of these facts from the CDC. So I kind of went right to where basically, somewhere you can kind of trust. Obesity-related conditions include heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancers. And some of these are the leading causes of premature preventable death. It is estimated that the annual medical cost of obesity in the United States was $147 billion. Did you guys hear me say that? $147 billion. Now, these numbers are from last year. So imagine, well, not 2019, 2018. So imagine what these numbers are going to be for 2019 when they finally publish it. And so the one thing I think we have to look at and kind of discuss is the difference between being overweight and being obese. And I know, you go to the doctor, you get on a scale and they tell you the number and you cringe. And then you go in and you talk to your doctor and she does a calculation and she tells you what your BMI is. Of course, everyone's BMI is different. It is according to your weight and your height. And sometimes I feel like those numbers are a little stretched. Like, I don't know about you, but there are people that I'm sure have been classified as obese. And really, when you look at them, you're like, that person's not necessarily obese. We also have to take into account that when they do this calculation, they negate the muscle mass that you've built up in your body. So that also is one of the reasons why I feel like BMI is not really an accurate depiction of what happens when someone is really obese. I feel like you as a person, you know your body and you kind of can tell like if you're overweight or if you're just obese. Now, I don't know if you guys used to play the Wii. I remember we got it and we had the one, where it was the fitness challenge and everyone put their little emojis up. I mean, their avatars up, and then it asked all these questions you got on it. And every time I did it, I was obese. And I remember when we played, at one point, there was like one person in my family that was not obese. Now, clearly, there were some people in my family who, we probably could be considered obese. But they're not. Like, a lot of them were overweight. Like, one of them was my kid, and I'm like, you're not obese, you're just a little chubby. And so I think that, those things play a role in it. Then we also want to take a look and think about the role that the media plays and consumerism plays in this whole obesity thing. I'm trying to stop that sunlight from shining in. Okay, that's better. In this whole obesity conversation, really for years, and I feel like maybe the last year, maybe a little more, I don't know. Every magazine cover that you picked up, there was always, the model was always a size 0 or 2. And if you go to a fashion show, especially Fashion Week, those girls are always, really on the thin side. And I think the reality of that is that's just not realistic. The average girl is not that size. And truth be told, most women aren't even that size. And I think that plays a role in kind of how we perceive being overweight and obese. Those were the images that we had, and those were the things that we had to look forward to. Like, oh my God, look at her. I'm looking on this fashion magazine. I want to look like that. I want to be like that. When the reality is it's not realistic and it's hard. And I think that plays a role in, everyone's psyche, your mental thought pattern behind what is fat, what's obese, and all of that. And I think it played a role into what now is considered fat shaming. So when I put this out there and I was talking to some people about it, it is really a conversation that I have with my friends often. We talk about this often because I am not a thin girl. I am a curvy girl. There's nothing I can do. I'm never going to be a thin beanpole model magazine cover girl. Never. I remember as a teenager, and even like my, late teens, early 20s, I was thin and I was like, oh, I'm going to go be a model. I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. I was very tall. I had this long, beautiful hair. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be a model, because those were the images that I saw as models. Nobody was a model who had short hair. They were all tall and thin. And I remember talking to the photographers and things of that nature in the agencies. And they're like, you have a beautiful face. We can probably do some things. But, models who are walking the runway don't have curves. And if you look at them, they don't. Most of them do not have curves. You look at them and, for lack of a better word, a lot of times it's like skin and bones, which is what most people generally say. So I feel like in my generation, when I was 19, 20, that was the image that I had. I feel like nowadays, girls do have a better image, but often it's not the best image. And I think that's where we as parents have to come in and really have better conversations with our kids. But what I want to talk about first is I need you all to know, we're going to talk about Lizzo. She was on the cover of an article put out by the Seattle Times. She's been in the news because of all the things that she's doing, not just her performing, her clothing. Everyone knows about the issue that occurred at the basketball game where she kind of turned around, was twerking with her butt cheeks out. But let's talk about what Jillian Michaels said. Okay, so for you guys who don't know who Jillian Michaels is, basically she was one of the hosts for The Biggest Loser for years, and she is like a nutrition health coach, I guess, for lack of a better word. And basically what she said in an interview where they were talking to her really about body health, body positivity, and things of that nature, the person who was interviewing her kind of mentioned Lizzo and saying that, oh, she's doing a great job. She is encouraging people to glamorize their bodies and things of that nature. So Jillian Michaels basically said, why are we celebrating Lizzo's body? Why does it matter? Why aren't we celebrating her music? Because it's not going to be awesome if she gets diabetes. And then she says, I'm so glad that she's celebrating, that she's her body, but why is it my job to care? So a lot of people consider this fat shaming. Okay, so let's dissect a lot of this. Okay. I agree. Why is the conversation always, oh yeah, I like Lizzo, she's a big girl? No, we should celebrate her music. Lizzo is an amazing musician. I followed her before she became this popular girl that she is now. I love that she played the flute. I thought it was cool. I like how she integrated it in. I mean, she just like, she's it. She's it. I mean, I love that she is positive. She's extremely confident. Literally, I went to the Made in America concert specifically to see her. She got on the stage. She was very tasteful. Realistically, she had on a similar performing costume like Beyonce would have on. So I was like, oh, that's great. I get it. You cannot have on all those clothes while you're performing. I felt like it was tasteful. She looked really nice. She was comfortable. She was doing her thing. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Now, we have to think that, why are we saying, oh, she did a great job as a big girl? No, she did a great job. That's the first thing we have to look at. She did a great job. Leave it at that. Period. Point. Now, then if you then want to go and talk about basically her body type and all of that, that's a different thing. Now, where I fought Jillian Michaels is, you did not have to say if she gets diabetes. That was not needed. That was not needed. One, diabetes in most cases is usually hereditary, and a lot of people will get it from being overweight. But generally, if it runs in your family, that's when doctors are concerned. So I felt like that was not the right term. I get what she was trying to say, or I hope I get what she was trying to say. Let me say that. I'm not giving her an excuse, but I feel like what she was saying is we are glamorizing her for being overweight, for being obese, not realizing the health risks that come along with being obese. So let's read some of the comments here. So Claudia is saying there are always two sides. I think celebrating curves is different than obesity stuff we see on Instagram. Absolutely. And that's the message that people are missing. And my concern with just the way that people are celebrating Lizzo and saying all this thing and doing all this thing, if they're like, oh, if I'm obese, it's okay. Here's the thing. Full disclosure. If you are okay with being obese, it is okay, because it is you. It is you. It is you. It is you. You have the right to feel how you want to feel. But you also have to understand just what comes along with being obese. And it's not just, your health risks. We all know, and it's not okay, just the fat shaming that happens in the world. We all know that a lot of times women who are obese, or people who are obese, don't often want to go to the doctors, not just because of their weight and how they're going to feel perceived. They don't want anybody to see them with their clothes off like that in the light. So those are the things we have to think about. And I don't know if you guys saw this video where this young lady, I guess she was celebrating her birthday, and she attempted to jump on the table, and the table fell. So of course it went to, oh, see, Lizzo got everybody out here jumping on tables thinking, oh, I'm obese, so it's okay. No, it's not okay. And so I feel like so many messages are being put out that aren't the right messages. So let's see. Mia is saying, yes, clearly, Jillian Michael clearly forgot that Lizzo is killing on stage for hours. Listen, let me tell you all, I saw her at Made in America, and I'm overweight. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally overweight. I know I'm overweight. When I put my clothes on, I'm like, yeah, I can't wear that. Or, okay, I need some extra material. So I know that I'm never gonna lie to myself and be like, I'm not overweight. And I don't think it's okay that I'm overweight. So I should also add that as well. But when I went to her concert for Made in America, listen, I was like, I don't know how she's doing this. First of all, I've already said that about Beyonce going to her concerts, like how she's all over the stage, energized. After me singing and attempting to dance to the first song, I got to sit down. Lizzo, I was like, yeah, I got one good song for you, Lizzo, and that's it. I got to sit down. She was on. I mean, get it. She's practicing. So she is probably not very unhealthy, because you got to be in some type of shape to be able to do that. And I'm sure a lot of it is she's building muscle mass, and that's probably how she's able to do it. I don't know. Like, I don't even think I would want to attend a session with her and try to find out. So so Darlene is saying that society cannot and will not ever separate the two. You're right. Obesity and overweight. You're absolutely correct. Because if you even put it in Google, what comes up is everyone is talking about it as though they are one and the same, and they are not. And I think that is a big issue and something that we always need to make sure we take note of. Mia is saying that there are health consequences, but that is your choice, not open for someone else's commentary. Mind your business. Absolutely. I feel like social media has made people feel like they have the pass to be in your business, to mind your business, and to say whatever they want to say. And where I stand is, you can say whatever you want to say, but just understand that I don't have to agree with it, and be willing to accept the backlash from it. Now, Twitter went off on Jillian Michaels behind this comment, and I get it. They were feeling like they needed to be in defense of Lizzo, but I don't feel like she was putting Lizzo down. She said she liked her music. She's a fan, from what she knows of her, but she is just saying, don't glamorize being obese and overweight. And we shouldn't. we should not want that. We should want people to be healthy. Now, if you determine you're being overweight according to the BMI, that might be a little off, because we do know that just doesn't, those numbers really don't correlate. And we got to be honest about that. However, if you realize that you're overweight and that you don't feel like you're at your best health, then that's something different. So those are the things that we want to focus on. And then when we look at, I feel like Lizzo's message, and she talks about how, her intent was not to become the poster child for body positivity, but it has happened. That's what we want to practice. We want to teach these children, adults, everybody, self-love, because I feel like that is what's lacking in our society. And if we focus on loving ourselves, it doesn't matter what our size is. Size is just a number, and it does not really dictate whether or not you're healthy or unhealthy. I know some women who, if you look at them, you would be like, oh my gosh, she has the best body. She's in the best of shape, but she's also battling cancer. And that is such a common misnomer. So people are like, oh, well, if you're organic and you don't eat meat, or if you're a vegan, or if you're this, you can't get cancer. No, there's some diseases that just don't discriminate. And we should know that it does not discriminate. And just because the person is overweight and they end up getting cancer, we can't be like, oh, they got cancer because they were overweight. And I think that that's where we have to be mindful of the messages that we send, that we're saying, and that people are getting. So, all right, let me see. Here we go. Mia saying she tried to do Beyonce stump walk once and hurt herself. Listen, let me tell you all, last weekend, because I don't want to say I'm on a diet, because I think diets just don't work. And, we'll that'll be the next topic that we talk about after this. I am really on just a better journey to better health. You guys know I am a breast cancer survivor. I am a huge advocate, and I'm really trying to encourage other people to do things to kind of get moving. I don't like to exercise. I am never gonna lie. I don't like to go to the gym. I contemplated getting a gym membership, thinking that I would go to the gym because I didn't want to waste my money. No, I would totally find ways not to go. And I'm so ashamed of it. No, I'm lying. I'm not ashamed of it. I just don't want to go. I just don't want to work out. I just don't want to work out. I'm not a gym girl. However, I do like wearing the clothes that I'm going to work out. But I feel like I have to find creative ways to keep myself moving. And that's what I do. So last weekend, turned on the video channel, and I'm listening to Beyonce videos, and I'm watching them, and I'm at home, doing all the moves. Yeah. 20 minutes in, and I don't even know if I had 20 good minutes. I was so worn out and tired. And that's why I say, as a performer, you have to give these people mad respect, regardless of what their weight is. They're doing it. And so I always say, I know you don't want to go to the gym. And I feel like, sometimes people who go to the gym, my one friend, we talk about it often, and she's like, yeah, people call me a gym addict. And I said, that's because everything you say is gym, 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 gym. And I'm not shaming you, because that's your lifestyle. If that's what you like, good. I probably need to add gym to just one of my sentences. But we shame people for going to the gym. We shame people for not going to the gym. So in this society that we have, and especially with social media, we feel like we have the right to comment and tell people what to do. And we don't. That's it in a nutshell. We don't. So Lisa is saying that at the end of the day, it's about your individual health. The rest is about individuals' perception of others' behavior of overweight or obese people. I agree. But we have to look at the role that society plays in that, the consumerism, because weight loss and the diet industry, pills and all of that, it is $1 billion industry, because every day the media shows us a picture of something that they think we should be. And we subscribe to it. And since we subscribe to it, then we turn around and we're like, okay, what do I need to get my body to look like this? Or how do I make myself look like this? So we got to take our role in this as well, and push back and say, no, I'm not buying that. And so that's where the body positivity comes in. Because if you love yourself and you're happy with your body, then you don't always feel need to jump on whatever the next fad diet is. And I think that's what's happening. And I see it all the time. All the commercials, all of these different things. However, the good thing about some of them is that it does make you take stock of, is this where I want my body to be? And what I'm encouraging everyone to do is to do a health assessment. Beginning of the year, everybody's in resolution mode now, and we all want to go out and get, say, oh, I'm going on a diet, or so many people have joined the gym this month. I don't know if you guys are all over Facebook, but people are like, yeah, I pull into the parking lot and it's so crowded I can't get in. And they're like, okay, yeah, these are the resolutioners. They'll be gone by the middle of February. I encourage you, if that is a goal that you have put forth, follow it through. Check it out. Follow it through. If your goal is to eat healthier, that is a blank statement. Break it down into a smaller goal. That way it will be more obtainable. So I'm hoping that you guys are, thinking of something like that and planning out. So what I'm actually doing is I have been cutting back on some things, and I've, seen some effects in how my body is managing it. And it's actually been pretty good. So the other thing is, I don't know if you guys saw the comment that Dr. Boyce, his name is Dr. Boyce, right? Yes. That, first, let me read the rebuttal, I guess, for lack of a better word, that Jillian Michaels basically stated in response on Twitter to all the comments that were the backlash that she was getting in response to what she said. So she said, as I've stated repeatedly, we are all beautiful, worthy, and equally deserving. I also feel strongly that we love ourselves enough to acknowledge that there are serious health consequences that come with obesity. She added, I would never wish for anyone, she said, I would never wish these for anyone, meaning the diabetes and all of that. And I would hope we prioritize our health because we love ourselves and our body. What do you guys think? I mean, so reading that, do you think that she made that statement to be fat shaming? Or was she really just stating the facts? I mean, it is the facts are the facts. Like I said, I don't feel like she should have said diabetes, because that kind of threw people to the left wing. But it is true. Like, we should celebrate her music. We should not celebrate, what is considered obese and overweight, because in turn, it has turned into us glamorizing obesity. So Dr. Boyce Watkins, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him. He is an African-American author, economist, political analyst, and a social commentator. So basically, he has said that Lizzo is popular because there is an obesity epidemic in America. Rather than encouraging people to do better, we are simply lying to them and telling them that they are just fine the way they are. Unfortunately, many of these people are dying from diabetes and heart disease. Now, some of what he's saying is true. Let's be real. Some of what he's saying is true. However, there are other pieces where he I feel like he pulled some nose. And because of the way it sounds like it's downing Lizzo. And I think that's where the controversy comes in at. But we have to understand, Lizzo, first of all, is not popular because of this obesity epidemic. Her music is the truth. Like, she can jam. This girl can play the flute. She can dance the whole nine. So I hate that people keep including her in this obesity discussion and trying to say, oh, well, that's why people like her, because she's an obese dancer. No, that's not why we like her. We like her because she is very talented. So I hope you all agree with me on that. She is very talented. And the fact that I love her and follow her has nothing to do with all of that. But Lizzo basically slapped back to him, and she basically said, I'm popular because I write good songs and I'm talented and perform high energy hour-and-a-half shows filled with love. The only person who needs to do better is you. Keep my name out your mouth and look in the mirror before you come for me. Here's the attention you ordered. Yeah, Lizzo. She served him up. And then, of course, Twitter went in and served him up the rest. But I feel like because she's been thrown into this, and she stated that was not her goal, and putting out her music and dressing the way she dressed, she is very confident. She's very positive about her body, which you should be. You should love yourself no matter what. Just be healthy about it. And I don't know that she's not healthy. I have no idea that she's not healthy. But we got to be healthy about it no matter what it is. So even if you wear size 6, health should always be a priority no matter your size. And I think that's the message that we're losing. And by everyone feeling like, oh, she's a big girl and she's dancing for an hour and a half. Oh, I can eat and do what I want to do. And even if I'm obese, it'll be okay because look at Lizzo. No, that's not the message that she wants you to get. The message she wants you to get is the skin you're in right now, today, you should love. Love no matter what. if you're uncomfortable with it, if you don't like it, then by all means, you should do something about it. And I think that is the message that she's trying to send. However, people are turning that message around to something else. All right, so EJ is saying that she likes to walk and swim. You need to move, but you need to love what makes you move. I have realized walking daily with my daughter has brought us much closer and much better conversations. Absolutely. So I recently did a post where I talked about 10 ways to promote self-care. And I believe physical activity, no matter what it is a form of self-care. We all know we need to get moving. We all know what happens when anything just remains still. We can't be still for too long. I mean, think about when people are in the hospitals or, they're sick and they're laying in the bed, they have to move them around because if you don't move these muscles, they basically die. And we know that, so movement is important. No, you don't have to get on the treadmill and run 800 miles or anything to that effect. But like she's saying, it's a bonding time. So for me, I am a lacrosse coach and I get out there and I do some things with the girls, but it's always fun. We're laughing at the end. I'm winded and tired, but it's still me moving. So practice and get on a goal where maybe your movement is 10 minutes a day. Start with a small goal, 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, and then bump it up as you see fit. But make yourself a priority. So Mariama is saying, yes, so true. We allow their complacency as opposed to uplifting health and wellness. It ain't all about being skinny, just healthy. Absolutely. Absolutely. She put it right there. Just exactly. It is not about being skinny. It is about being healthy. And I joke around with my friends and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be skinny the way I was skinny again. That's never going to happen. And I know that. But my goal is to be healthy. I have a lot to live for. And I don't need to put the added burden on my family about being unhealthy. They're already nervous when something goes wrong. They're like, oh my God, what is it? What is it? What is it? So for me, I want to make myself a priority in terms of health. And the other thing that I encourage you guys to do is to normalize body positivity amongst people that you know. So fat shaming is a thing. It is crazy that the conversations that I've had and the things that I've seen with people behind fat shaming, it's never okay. And I want you to remember that and to share that with people. It's never okay. And you don't want people to feel bad. And it's a form of bullying. And sometimes, with fat shaming, you got to think about the consequences and what happens and how you make people feel. And as I stated, it's part of the reason why a lot of women persons who are overweight don't want to do certain things for that reason. Now, for me, I'm not a crop top girl. Never gonna be. It's not gonna happen. That's just not who I am. I don't want anybody seeing my fat. There it is. That's just who I am. But there are women who aren't ashamed. They don't mind being out, showing their body. That is them. It is okay. Love you and love you. And one thing that I was talking with someone about last week is, do we think that, or let me ask you this question. Do you think that given the opportunity, Lizzo will lose weight? What do you guys think? Because, she talks about, and here's where her message kind of gets confusing to some people. She talks about, I'm good being overweight. It's okay. I love it. This, that. And then she talks about how guys are sliding in her DMs. And I'm sure they are. I don't discount that at all. I'm sure they're sliding in her DMs. However, I don't ever want to be with a man that, I don't ever want to be with a man that I can't be with publicly. We can only be together behind the scenes. So I don't know if you guys remember that there was a show called The Game, and Malik, the football player, was dating a woman who was overweight, and he was ashamed and would not be seen with her in public. And it became this whole big thing. And so when Lizzo talks about sliding in her DMs and connecting with guys or whatever through the DMs or whatever, that's what that reminded me of, and so it made you think, do you think that's okay? That he wants to be with you privately and he's okay coming to your bedroom, but he can't take you out in public because of your size. So those are the things that go hand in hand with being overweight and understanding it. Yes. So Claudia, that is a great question. So Claudia wants to know, what do you think about people posting pictures on their underwear for likes with this obesity being glamorized. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I've had brands reach out to me in terms of campaigns asking me if I wanted to participate, and basically they wanted a picture and all of that. And I was like, no, like that's just not who I am. That's not who I am. Rarely will you even see me take a picture of myself in a bathing suit. Like I may have on a bathing suit, I have it covered up. And that's because I'm just not happy with the way my body looks, but I'm not going to do that. Like I just can't. And I even have some friends who aren't what you consider overweight who've been asked about campaigns involving like underwear and things. And they're like, no, I don't want to do it either. What I will say is I've seen some that have been tastefully done, where they're showing it. And I guess at some point it is a marketing. If you're a model, it's what you do. I just wouldn't do it. And I think that if the reason that you have agreed to put on these items and dance around Instagram is because you just want likes, yeah, that's not okay. But that goes back to the way social media is driving our lives. And that goes back to why we have all these young girls out here doing these things that they're seeing that people are doing and they think it's okay. So I think it's a personal choice. I don't know about you guys. What do you think? EJ is saying, yes, we have the freedom to wear what we want. However, I find it challenging to find modest clothing for my tween. That is an understatement. Yeah, I've been dealing with that for a very long time. And I think that's part of the reason why my daughter is like, Mom, I'm just going to wear sweatpants. Or I'm just going to wear this. Like, she doesn't really like leggings. She does not like, my daughter is young and she does not like the attention that form-fitting clothing does. She doesn't like that. So she's totally fine with wearing sweatpants. So we even have a day where we call it Sweatpants Sunday, where we all wear sweatpants. Like, okay, let's just all wear sweatpants. So that goes back to the media. Like, we have to realize the role that we play in it. And I've even demanded and even like reached out to some designers and was like, can you make these shorts just a little longer? Like, they don't have to be where they're like at the crack of your butt. Like, it's a teenager. Like, I don't want that image for her. And she doesn't want it. Whether I want it or not, she doesn't want it. And so I think it's about a conversation. I will say that JCPenney's did come out and Kohl's did come out with some denim shorts where they come in various lengths. So that's a good thing. So Alonda remembers that episode and how he was embarrassed by her on the game. He was. It was very eye-opening. And think about how many years ago that was. It was extremely eye-opening. And it was a good conversation. And I don't even think that I don't know that there was even really any like resolution. Like, I think they did end up going out to dinner, but I don't know that stopped him from being uncomfortable. Clearly she was comfortable with who she was, but he wasn't. You know what I mean? So I don't know that that was even like a really good outcome where it was like, okay, well, we're still dating and, it gave a positive message for the world. So I don't even know if that even happened. So she says, oh, you don't think that Lizzo will lose weight unless it becomes a health issue? So ironically, that's what happens. I mean, look at Monique. I mean, for years, her stand-up comedy was about skinny bitches. Skinny bitches this. I hate skinny bitches this. I don't want to be a skinny bitch. Da, 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 da. And look at her. She turned into a skinny bitch. Granted, just the path she went down is now a little bad. Like she was at a concert and apparently she like shamed a fat girl, which was not okay, and then didn't want to talk to the fat girl after the fact. So Monique had some other issues that occurred. But if you look at what happened, I feel like she said what she said about the skinny girls out of self-hate. She hated the body that she was in, and she could not figure out how to be okay with it. And a lot of that played a role in society. Like, people booked her because they knew that she was going to do this whole fat girl thing, and people wanted to see that. And then, it came about that hate, that self-hate. And then when she had some health issues, she had no choice but to get her body in shape. And we have to realize when we go to the doctor, which I hope everyone does once a year, this is the perfect time now to set appointments. Even if you don't go right now, you can go later. But when you go to the doctor will ask you, what are your health goals? Or if they're not asking you, they should. And if they don't, get a new doctor. But they should be asking you, what are your health goals for the year? Yeah, what are your health goals for the year? And it's not just about, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. Oh, I want to become active. Set goals that are realistic. And hopefully that you can work with your physician to do that. Because once again, at the end of the day, it's not only just about being healthy, but it's about body positivity. Let's see. She said, modesty is a pretty individual choice. I'm pretty conservative, but tasteful still works. I agree. Yes. So modesty, I feel like 10, 20 years ago was something that everybody, it was a good thing. I don't know that modesty right now, today, in this day and age, is a good thing. I feel like, especially if you go on Instagram, sometimes I'm like, oh, I got to get off of this. Modesty is out of the window. People want you to see what they have. And if it works for you, then I guess it's okay. So let's see. What else do we have here? So Alonda is saying that for her 13-year-old, sweats and hoodies are the norm in middle school. Absolutely right. Listen, I mean, my daughter wears a uniform. She does wear sweatpants to school under her uniform, but when she's not on a uniform on the weekends, unless we're going somewhere, that's what she's in, and that's what she loves. And so I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm not even gonna. There's nothing for me to say about it. Alonda is saying that your doctor should ask you, are you active, and do blood work? Absolutely, I agree with that. But so. Yes, they should ask you, are you active? Because you do have to keep those muscles moving. Oh, so Claudia is saying that what bothers her is a lot of the body positivity stuff is staged. 90% of it is staged. Absolutely. Because as I stated, I had a brand reach out to me and they wanted me they wanted to work with me with their underwear campaign. And basically I was like, okay, well, what are you looking for? And they sent me images of pictures that they were looking for. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I said, I don't ever want my children to look on Instagram or anywhere on social media and see me dressed like that. Like, I'm just not going to do it. But for those people who are okay with it, it's fine. I've seen some people who have done it tastefully, but I've seen others who are just being exploited. And I'm like, you can't get that back. Like, some stuff you can't get back. There's no delete in the internet world, and we do know that. There is no formalized delete in the internet world. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this movement. It's called Health at Any Size. And basically what they are talking about is you can have health no matter what the number on the scale is. What do you think about that? Do you feel like I can weigh 400 pounds and still be healthy? What are your thoughts? I mean, because I feel like when you look at what you see in and out of hospitals, and let me say this from a breast cancer advocacy position. A lot of times I go to the hospitals, especially if I have an appointment, I'm there and I'm speaking to other people who have been diagnosed or who are dealing with it. And 75% of the people that are coming in and out of there are overweight. That is not, I'm going to say right, once again, that is not the cause for their cancer. I will never, ever tell anyone that because they were overweight, that's how they got cancer, or you shouldn't be overweight because you'll get cancer. No. Well, what I'm saying is being overweight plays a role in the way your treatment works, because we have to understand that obesity is about fat and the amount of fat that is surrounding like your organs. And that's what causes the problems because your organs can't operate properly because they're basically being squished by fat. So that's probably the best way to put it. And the reason why you want to be mindful of your fat content. Not muscle so much. You want to be mindful of your fat content. And so that's why movement is important, because muscles that don't do anything turn into mush. That's a good explanation for you guys. Let me see. So I want to remind you guys to ditch the diet culture. Don't look for fad diets because they don't work. You'll lose a couple pounds and then you'll gain it right back, because unless you make a lifestyle change, it doesn't matter. Like, I cannot eat candy for a month and I would probably lose a lot of weight because I do eat a lot of candy. But the moment I start eating it again, I'm probably going to gain that and more. So make a change, reward yourself for these changes, make little changes. And the other thing that, I don't know why I'm saying I'm a lot. I'm sorry, because I can't stand that. The other thing I want to remind you of is the importance of a meal plan. So if you have a meal plan, then you know what you're going to eat, the caloric intake of it. Then you can be mindful of what goes in and hopefully what comes out. Let's see. There was something else that I wanted to tell you guys about. No, that actually might be it. So Alonda is saying visceral fat around the belly puts us at risk for chronic conditions. Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of people don't understand what visceral fat is and kind of how to negate it and what to do. So it's about movement. I mean, really, it's about movement. And what happens with your belly fat is that just the way in which you eat and your body breaks down the food, it just gets there and it sits there and you can't really move it. So if everything in moderation, yes, everything in moderation. So Alonda's saying 2 to 3 times a week of walking. Yes, because if you do a lot of walking, you should notice just the way your stomach muscles respond to that movement. Go to the mall and walk. Like, I'm not saying go outside because I already told you guys I am not a fan of exercise. I can't stand it. But I do move a lot. So today I'm gonna go to the mall. I have some things I need to do. I walk around the mall. I move outside. I even dance in the house. Like, think about it. If you're cleaning, that's a great way. So let's see. So Lisa is saying it depends on the barometer of health use. However, the baseline of obesity is still a potential issue. Absolutely. It is a big issue because everybody's body is not the same. So you can't say that because I'm 5'11" and I weigh, I'm not gonna tell you how much I weigh, whatever this number is, and this person is also the same height and we weigh the same, that that we're both obese, because you can't. It's totally different. It's according to definitely fat. So I wish there was a way that we could just not even use obesity. Like, there was a better word. I don't know. I need to think of a better word for it so that way people will stop confusing being overweight and being obese. I think that is something that the medical professional, maybe I need to put it on them. They need to come up with a better way to help people understand the importance and how to break down obesity. Maybe, I don't know. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? All right. So we have, let me see. What is she saying? Moderation, not elimination. Get an accountability partner. Invest in the most quality food that your budget allows. That is so key. That is so key. Now, if you go to the market, and even if you don't, if wherever you're going to get your groceries at this point, if you pay attention to the fact that this organic is a movement, it's a movement. Now it is a popular movement, along with, I guess, the obesity. But what's happening is stores are realizing that people want better food. And so they're trying to bring it to you, and they're putting it in just regular supermarkets, and they're trying to put it in the same areas where you would buy the non-organic stuff to give you the option to choose. Now, the issue that I have, and that will always be, is the pricing make it hard for some people sometimes. However, there are ways to eat healthier, organic on a budget. I promise you there are. I don't like to spend a lot of money in the grocery store, and I buy, for the most part, organic meats. There's certain things that you just want to buy organic no matter what. And if that means that you cut back on something, then that's what you do. But you've got to look for ways to get these healthier meats, to get these healthier vegetables, because ultimately it plays a major role in how your body breaks down whatever you're eating, adding to visceral fat. Let's see. And so she's saying, yes, find a fun activity. She said she picked up on ping pong and dropped some pounds. Lisa, I used to love to play ping pong. That is absolutely a great tip. Movement is not just about exercise. It can be in anything. Like, you can go sightseeing wherever you live. Go sightseeing. There's always new things popping up. I mean, like, I live in Philadelphia. I was downtown yesterday and I walked around because there are new things always opening that I don't always get a chance to see. So use that time wisely. EJ is saying some of the diet programs should change their wording. I agree 100%. But the one thing that we have to think about is the reason that they're not changing their wording is because they're making money from it. I mean, think about it. Like, if I'm making millions of dollars, it's working. I don't feel like I need to do anything. What I will say is there's some programs that I've seen, and I love the way that they are helping consumers be educated. So it's not just about what not to eat. It's about what you should eat, the way the food breaks down in your body. And then it's also helping you understand your relationship with food, because that is a very, 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 very big thing. Very big thing. Very big thing. So one app that I've been using lately, and I'm going to give you guys some apps that you might want to try out, is Noom. I'll post the link for that if you guys want to check it out. You get a 7-day trial or something to that effect. To try it out. But what I liked about it is it asks you your why. It asks you your why and the reasoning behind why do you want to lose this weight, or why is this your goal? And your health goal does not have to be losing weight. It could be to get more active, to there was another one. I can't remember what the other one is. One of them, of course, is losing weight, or to feel better about myself. And they ask you why. And then you're kind of like, what do you mean why? Because this is what I want to do. But it helps you break down, because once you understand your why, things are a lot easier to do. Another one is called Foodvisor. And with Foodvisor is you can take a picture of whatever you're eating. It'll break down everything in this in the food that you're eating, gives you all the benefits, probably why you shouldn't be eating, why you should be eating it. You can connect with a dietitian. It gives you tips. I also like Dietbet. So Dietbet is cool because if you need an accountability partner, and maybe you don't want to ask a friend, because sometimes, we have good intentions. We're like, I'll be your accountability partner, but maybe on Tuesday I don't feel like being bothered, so I'm gonna ghost you until Friday when I feel like being bothered. So what Dietbet is basically you put up some money, everybody sets a goal, and then you check in. And in the process of checking in, you get tips and things to kind of get your body moving. So that's a good one as well. Alonda is saying that she likes my Fitness Pal. I was using my Fitness Pal for a while, but I don't think it connected with my Apple Watch, and I kind of dropped off from it. But I like Foodvisor because basically I just take a picture and it does what it needs to do. And then Noom will give me some daily tips, just really like, not necessarily like, oh girl, don't eat that, but it's really like motivational tips, because like I said, a lot of this is in our heads, the lack of movement and why we aren't doing it. And some of it is we have to come to some relationships with this, because a lot of our relationship with food are something that occurred in our childhood that maybe we didn't address. And so I feel like it's kind of helping you, mentally figure out what's going on. So let's see. Oh, hi, Cherie. Welcome. Alonda's going to take salsa classes. That is cool. I've been trying to do an African dance class. The day they have it, it just does not work for me. So let's see. Alonda's talking about mixing up the routine of just home workouts. And then we see EJ is saying that you've seen me in the past year. She was in the obese category at Weight Watchers. She changed the coach she was going to, who encouraged weight loss and percentages, which was much more achievable. Absolutely. You have to know what works for you. And I think that that's one of the things that we don't know, that we feel like everybody is all in one category, and we're not. Some people do well knowing the numbers, which aren't always helpful, because, like if you're on a weight loss goal and you only lost 2 pounds, you're like, that was nothing. I stopped doing this. I stopped doing that. And it could be annoying, especially in the beginning. But if it's about percentages and you can see the percentage growing, then you're a little bit more like, oh, okay, maybe this works. And so I think you have to figure out what works for you and take advantage of that. Let me see here. Well, guys, that is really all I had. Hopefully this was helpful. It was really good for me. And I'm hoping that anyone watching the replay, if you guys have any comments about glamorizing obesity, and I don't want this talk to just be about Lizzo, because it's not just about Lizzo. The Biggest Loser is getting ready to come back on. And what I found interesting is they were looking for people to try out here in Philadelphia. So I went down there. I was like, I'm overweight. I'm going to be a Biggest Loser. The guy loved my energy. We had a great talk. He was like, you know what? You would be great on our show. You're just not overweight enough. What the hell does that mean? I'm not overweight enough. I am overweight enough. For me, what are you talking about? But I got what he was saying. And I looked at the contestants and I was like, I'm going to follow the show this year to really see the messages that they're sending, because my understanding is they're changing the format. And they want it to be a little bit more positive and inclusive. Whereas I feel like in the past, it was really not inclusive. And some of the things that they had people doing was just not realistic. Like, people in everyday life are not going to do that, which is the reason why you see a lot of the contestants years later have gained the weight back, because that type of lifestyle was not realistic. So it's supposed to be, he was explaining to me that it's going to be a change up of the program, something really that people can follow along with at home. And I think the goal is for them to maintain, because, it's kind of a letdown that you've done all this to lose this weight. And then as soon as you got away from the cameras and was supposed to be doing your own thing, you basically, ate it back. So people were feeling like a failure. So I think that's part of the reason why they changed it. But I want to encourage you guys to continue this conversation. We need to let people know that being obese is not okay. It's not okay. We need to stop glamorizing it. We need to talk about more body positivity and more about being healthy. We need to let the media know that we don't want to subscribe to their consumerism anymore. We want them to promote body positivity. And some of them are doing it when you see like models of different sizes, different shapes, colors, and hair texture and all of that. But those are the images that we want to see, and love yourself. If I can't say anything else, if you didn't get anything else from this conversation, guys, I want you to love yourself. And if you find that you don't, I listed some ways that you can go about changing, and I'll make sure that I post them in the comments so that you guys can get an idea of some of the things that I was talking about as well. This has been wonderful. I look forward to talking with you next week. Same time, same channel, but we will talk more about self-care. And a lot of what we talked about today goes into self-care, but next week we'll do a deeper dive into it. If you have questions and or comments or things you'd like for me to share and or include, please let me know. Once again, I am Tamika Talks at IG, and I am at Life and Pumps everywhere else. Hopefully you will follow and subscribe. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining.